Shalom, shalom. Giving all honor and praise to the Most High and His Son, Yahweh Shai. We got the battle axe of the Most High coming to you on a Wednesday class to get edified in the Most High God's name. The name of the class is called Love Evil, Thankskilling. Thankskilling, killing. We know that the Most High God give us high holy days. So we're going to go to Leviticus chapter 23. Start at verse 1.
Book of Leviticus, chapter 23, and verse number 1. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, concerning the feast of the Lord, which ye shall proclaim to be holy convocation. Even these are my feasts.
So guess what? We know Leviticus chapter 23, Donovan got it out.
Yeah.
We know the feast of, we know the Lord gave us all these feasts, but we don't see no Thanksgiving in there.
That's right.
And it's talking to the children of Israel. So guess what? If the Lord already gave us feasts, then why are we playing around as a nation, right? And the Lord said on his feast, it's going to be a holy convocation, man, right? Read on.
Verse 3. 6 days shall work be done.
Read.
But the 7th day is the Sabbath of rest.
Read.
An holy convocation.
Read on.
Ye shall do no work therein. It is the Sabbath of the Lord in all your dwellings.
So guess what? We have the first feast day, which is the Sabbath day. Right? Read.
Verse 4. These are the feasts of the Lord, even holy convocations, which ye shall proclaim in their season.
So guess what? We got the top dog, which is the Sabbath day, which is in the Big Ten. Then you got all the rest of the holy convocation that just went straight down the list. Front of the Bible to the back of the Bible, we don't see Thanksgiving. We don't see no Thanksgiving, giving. Only thing we see is victory for Israel. They're keeping the commandments. And brothers and sisters should be walking in, they're in. And we know it'd be hard sometimes, man. Family getting together. They say Junebug just got out of prison. Little Nug just came off of, he just got a rapping deal or something. He coming out, he finna bless the family. All kind of little stuff going on. But we know that if us keeping the commandments, guess what? We wouldn't, we can get out of this situation too by keeping the commandments. But a lot of times, brothers and sisters, we know how we do. We like to be basic. So guess what? We gotta give people basic scriptures, man. And we just talking about that before the camera cut on, man. It's always basic, man. Deuteronomy chapter 28. Because the Lord gave us feast days, but in our feast days, this is what the Lord expected us to do. Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 47.
Book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 47.
Try to keep it basic, man. Read.
Because thou servest not the Lord thy God with joyfulness and with gladness of heart.
Read.
For the abundance of all things.
Read.
Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies.
So guess what? Since the Lord gave us feast days and we didn't want to do his feast days, the Lord said, you know what? You're gonna be serving your enemies. But in that, but he still didn't say that he still didn't tell us to keep their feast days. He said we're supposed to be serving them. Right? Read.
Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies,
Read.
which the Lord shall send against thee.
Read.
In hunger, and in thirst,
Read.
and in nakedness,
Read.
and in want of all things.
In the want of all these things, right? Read.
And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he had destroyed thee.
Now, guess what, man? He done destroyed us so much to the point, now here we go. We celebrate everything that they have. Guess what? Not just celebrate everything that they have. Guess what? Anything that, guess what? It's good to eat pork. It's good to eat shrimp. It's good to eat lobster. Because guess what? That's what Esau tells us our people to do. Forget your laws. Do our laws. Well, the Bible says you're supposed to do the law of the land, but the law of the land don't succeed the scripture. No matter what say what, you still got to be able to keep God's laws. Guess what? With joyfulness and gladness of heart. This ain't no hard thing to do. Because if brothers and sisters mind really wrap around this thing, guess what, man? Think about how Esau do. When I think about how all the other nations do. Ain't no, most of these people, them people over there in China and in Japan, guess what? They not bowing down to no white Jesus. They not doing that. They can give a damn about them people in Arabia. You think they bowing down to some kind of white Jesus? Hell no. Ishmael not even doing that, man. But guess what? Guess what a nigga do? We'll do it. And any country that a Negro in, guess what? A Negro will do it. And love it. Guess what? That's how destroyed we are as a nation, man. That's how the Lord took up 12 tribes, dispersed them out, and guess what? We weak. Because we're not all together. Because when we come back as one, guess what? We're gonna be strong as hell, man. And they know this. And but guess what? The Lord know what He was doing too. That's divide these Negroes. Let's divide this northern tribe, so we can destroy them, right? Let's go to Jeremiah chapter 10. This is how we got to, like I say, got to home these things in, man. Right? Jeremiah chapter 10, verse 1. And y'all know this scripture. If brothers don't know this scripture, you better ask somebody. Read that.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 10, verse 1. Hear ye the word which the Lord speaketh unto you, O house of Israel.
Read.
Thus saith the Lord.
It said, thus saith the Lord, read.
Learn not the ways of the heathen.
Because the Bible teaches us not to learn the ways of the heathen. Guess what, man? The Bible tells us not to learn the ways of the heathen, but guess what the heathen teach us? We go to their schools, and guess what? We learn about their forefathers. We learn about their customs. We learn about their traditions. We learn about, guess what? We learn, and guess what? We go from place to place to learn their traditions. And sometimes, guess what? Even Israelite, we believe this. We believe, so there's a lot of people believe that look just like all of us. They believe that George Washington is their forefather. They believe that Abraham Lincoln freed the slaves. They believe this, right? And guess what? They even started to the point that they teaching our children now in school that, guess what, man? We came over here in indentured service. If we was in indentured service, how in the hell, where our land and stuff at? Where our resources at? Where the stuff at that we own? Because every time we got up and started running the show and started doing things, guess what? They bombed us. Right. But look how the lower state of people, they have to keep on knocking us down. Why? Because it's some Negro gonna break through the chains, man. It's some Negro gonna, guess what? It's some one Israelite gonna break through the chain. Guess what? And they have to make an example out of this dude too. Every single time, because we have somebody mind that can go so high enough to get past the elites. And we always been a nation of people because we runs the show. And it's hard for us waking up in a Fortune 500 company and we the janitor. And when we start realizing this, everything, we looking around like, dang, this belongs to us. But we janitors though. Right. It's hard for us to, when we come to the truth and we see these things, man. That's why the Lord said, don't learn the ways of the heathens, man. Whatever our custom is, stay in our custom. Stay in our understanding. Because what our understanding is, every nation gonna soon say, y'all are wise and understanding people. Because we have God so near to us. This is what our wisdom Goliath, all this says is in Deuteronomy chapter 4. It literally says these things, verbatimly says these things. That all nations gonna come up to us and tell us that what wise and understanding people we are, man. Because we got the real God that's really, every time we needed him to battle and fight for us, guess what? The Lord sent our Lord over there and he handled the business. Always been a God who had to go fight for us, right? Read that out, verse 2.
Verse 2, thus saith the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven.
Because guess what? Don't think that he gonna send this space station up there, he gonna be waiting for Yahweh while Yahweh shot to hit the clouds, think he gonna stop him. Boy, he gonna pay. He said every knee gonna bow, man, and every tongue gonna confess. That means, so when you bring them weigh stations, you can get his space station, there ain't nothing but a weigh station. That's it, man. Read.
Be not dismayed at the signs of heaven,
Read.
for the heathen are dismayed at
And
them.
we know the heathen dismayed at them because they believe in those things. And guess what? And they have some Negroes. And guess what? There's a lot of Negroes and a lot of Latinos, a lot of Northern tribe. Guess what? These people out here, they gonna be right out here celebrating this Thanksgiving like it ain't nothing. Like, fool, this pertaining to you, right? Psalm chapter 52.
Hold on, read verse 3. You going back to it?
Y'all come back. Psalm chapter 52. Verse 3.
Book of Psalms, chapter 52, verse 3. Thou lovest evil more than good.
Read it again now.
Thou lovest evil more than good,
Read.
and lying rather than to speak righteousness.
Because this is how our people think. That's why they love evil more than good. That's why we tell brothers, look, evil people, boy, evil. Our people love evil. Love it. If it's anything that can be done evil, let's go do it. Let's do it. Let's go on ahead and guess what? Wish a MF would. Because we love evil, man. Why would you wish somebody would do something evil so you could do something evil? Why would we want that, man? But our God know us. He know our people, man. And he know our people is a bunch of stiff-necked people that, guess what, they don't feel, because the other nations don't feel like they can rely on our God. Guess what? And we don't feel like we can rely on our God either. But our God raised their sun up every day, whether it's cloudy or not. Our God put a moon in that sky, whether it's cloudy or not, man. And guess what? And just like we telling brothers, if you don't like our God, tell your God to take our God breath from out of your body and give you some breath. Because you using our God's air. You using our God's breath, man. Because guess what? I'm going to tell you something about our God. That's why he said God, he a God of knowledge and a God of spirit. Why is he a God of knowledge and a God of spirit? Because he's in this, and he's right here in everybody. He's in everybody's mind. Whether we like it or not, God is in everybody's mind. And wherever your mind go, guess what? He's right there and he know what your thoughts is because he's in your mind. Literally in your mind. This is the good decision. Because guess what? Why he's in everybody's mind? Because he always give us a way out. Because y'all get that. So that makes him be in everybody's mind. Guess what? When you about to do something wicked, he's got something in your mind that's him talking, don't do it. He give you that way out, right? Let's go back to Isaiah and Jeremiah. Jeremiah chapter 10, verse 3.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 10, verse 3. For the customs of the people are vain, for one cutteth the tree out of the forest. The work of the axe, the works of the hands of the workman with the axe.
We just wanted that first part. Read the first line of that first chapter.
Verse 3 from the top. For the customs of the people are vain.
Customs of the people are vain. That's why I went to Leviticus 23 and showed you our high holy day. So we know that these customary holidays they put upon us, they are vain, they profit us nothing, right? So that's the only part I wanted out of that. Show the customs of the people are vain. We know going down, this is going into what, wicked Christmas. We talk about all of their customs, right? That's why we go into Leviticus to see what we have to do. But they are very vain, they don't profit us anything. Go ahead. That's it, that's all we want.
Because even like this, even what Ak is touching on, like I said, we know that we done inherited lies from them. It was told to us from the beginning, man. Let's get that real quick. We have to come up out of these lies that we done been taught, man. Even like what Ak is touching on, you know, they give us their history and make us forget ours. But the Most High God is bringing it back to remembrance. Let's go to the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 32. And verse inherited lies. So like Deuteronomy chapter 32 and verse is pink is without understanding. Look at one of the lies. Give me the one in Deuteronomy. I'm trying to find it real quick. Salaki. Deuteronomy 33 and 29. You caught me? Yeah, I think they probably not. Deuteronomy, Salaki, brothers and sisters. Deuteronomy 32 and 29. 33 and 29, Salaki. Yeah, I think that's it. Let me see.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 33, verse 29.
Uh-huh.
Happy art thou, O Israel, who is like unto thee, O people.
Oh, who?
O people.
Read on up.
Saved by the Lord, the shield of thy help, and who is the sword of thy excellency.
Uh-huh.
And thy enemies.
And thy who?
And thy enemies.
Read on up.
Shall be found liars.
Shall be found what?
Shall be found liars.
And that's what we finding out now. When brothers and sisters literally go into the history of Thankskilling. You understand that history benefits us none whatsoever. It profits us nothing. Like I say, even going into there, they done literally took that out and just going into, oh, they found America, the Indians helped them, and they was all singing Kumbaya. Right. You know, that's not the true history concerning Thankskilling. You know, they literally took this land by force and slaughtered the Native American Indians. And we're finding these things out by the power of the Most High and His Son Yahushua through the scriptures. Seeing and coming back to our nationality and to our true heritage. Read on up.
And thine enemies shall be found liars.
And we found them out to be liars, man. Read on.
Unto thee.
Unto who?
Unto thee.
Read on up.
And thou shalt tread upon their high places.
And that's what we're doing right now. We're treading upon their high places using what? The Bible. The Bible is literally uncovering the lies and deceit that we done been taught. That's what the Bible is for. Like we say, hey, it's the only truth on the planet Earth. So it's uncovering all these false traditions that we done been taught. Go ahead up.
Go to the other one. Let's go to Jeremiah 16, 19. I think that's the one we probably want to do.
No, I was thinking about another one. I didn't have it jotted down yet. That's out. I'm gonna text. There's a brother Saul.
Read that, Jeremiah 16, 19.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 16, verse 19.
Bring it out.
O Lord, my strength and my fortress,
Read on.
and my refuge in the day of affliction. The Gentiles shall come unto thee from the ends of the earth, and shall say, surely our fathers have inherited lies.
So this is what we're going into. We have inherited these lies brought down from these traditions of men, right? And now we've been indoctrinated with these lies, but we have inherited lies. Read on.
Vanity, in things wherein there is no profit.
And like we said, there's no profit in these things that we have inherited from our forefathers that did not keep the commandments of the Most High God. So surely we have inherited lies in the nation of people. One of the biggest lies is Thanksgiving. Like this is a day of a gathering, and a day of sitting around the table eating some turkey and talking. Now that's a lie that we've inherited, man. This is the slaughter of many of our Native American brothers and sisters. Man.
That's right.
Watch this. Let's go to Genesis chapter 49. Genesis chapter 49 and verse 19. What brother know what this is going into before we make it there? Gadites. Right? Read that out.
Book of Genesis, chapter 49, verse 19. Gad, a troop shall overcome him, but he shall overcome at the last.
So guess what, man? It said that the troops gonna overcome him, man. That's the reason why we look at Thanksgiving. That's what they came over to do, to slaughter our people, man. Guess what? They overcame Gad, but at the end, guess what? Gad gonna overcome them right back, man.
That's right.
Guess what, man? With all Israel standing with them, man. We gonna bring judgment to them, man. Because guess what, man? However they did to us, guess what, man? Hey, what they call a big payback, man. Right? Who got that precept?
Isaiah 65:11.
What you say?
Isaiah 65:11.
Isaiah 65:11. Brothers and sisters, make sure if you don't have that written down, you write that down beside it. Write it vice versa. Isaiah 65:11. Read this when you get there. Brothers and sisters, have that precept down right beside it.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 65, verse 11.
Give them a little second. Make sure everybody get there. You want everybody on one accord. When you get there, let's read it now.
Book of Isaiah, chapter 65, verse 11. But ye are they that forsake the Lord, that forget my holy mountain, that prepare a table for that truth, and that furnish the drink offering unto that number.
Unto that number, read.
Therefore will I number you to the sword, and ye shall all bow down to the slaughter. Because when I called, ye did not answer.
Read.
When I spake, ye did not hear, but did evil before mine eyes,
Read.
and did choose that wherein I delighted not.
So guess what, man? When the northern tribe, they escaped from where? Out of the Assyrian captivity, right? And guess what they was over here doing? They promised the Most High that they was going to come over here and do what? Keep the commandments. But when they came over here, they were just like the southern tribe and northern tribe was doing one and the same. What was they doing? Over here doing everything. That's why you got all these different little statues and different little stuff that they was over here doing. You still up, right? Because they was over here doing everything.
Who was that troop that overcame them? What was they known as?
Europeans, Spaniards.
Yeah, but more specifically, the U.S. cavalry. But you can lump it all together, but it's mainly going into the U.S. cavalry. So, brothers, y'all know it's going into General Custer, also going into Andrew Jackson. It's going into the American Indian Wars as well. Brothers, they have to understand some form of that history to be able to put it together and filter it through the Bible. Because that's basically what that is covering. And them few little sentences, I know a lot of times we think it just stand on face value, but that's the deepness of the scriptures. It's going through a lot of history.
Like General Custer, man, like he said, he goes through a lot of history. Brothers and sisters should know these things, man. Right? Let's go to Psalm chapter 55 and verse 20. Brothers should know these precepts right here too. I swear. Yo, the brothers that's been here, even the brothers sisters watching online. If you watch the class, guess what? You should be able to be. If brothers watching these videos on class, they say they supposed to be watching it. You should be writing down these precepts, writing in your Bible. These brothers and sisters have these, right?
That's right.
When you get there, like this, read.
The book of Psalms, chapter 55, verse 20. He had put forth his hands against such as be at peace with him. He had broken his covenant.
Who is this, man?
Esau.
But guess what? Guess what? Brothers and sisters, get the visual. When they showed the Indians and they showed the so-called white man, what is the white man doing when he when as a little child? And they showing us about Thanksgiving. What is this so-called white man doing? Shaking hands with so-called Gadites, man. Shaking hands with them. But when he started shaking hands with them, what did he do? Any and everything. Right? Read.
He hath broken his covenant. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter. But war was in his heart.
And every one of them think like this. We could try to say that they not thinking like that. Guess what, man? That's why you can't have them up in your congregation, man.
Okay. Now, I'm going to tell you, even Becky that may be nice to you at the job, or Karen, or even like Captain Yara said, Tanner. That's a real Tanner. Hey, just because, and I love what Bishop Nathaniel said, just because the Most High God put one of them on his spirit to be nice to you, you have to judge that thing as a whole. As a whole, guess what? They don't mean us no good. And a lot of times they doing those things, getting in good with you to do what? Undercut you anyways, right? So you have to be mindful of these things, man. The Most High God can put on their spirit to deal righteously with us, but that still doesn't mean that they have your best interest at heart.
And they never will.
That's right.
They never will. That's why what do Sirach 12 and 10 say?
Never.
If the Lord tells us never to trust him, why do we think that we can trust him, man?
That's right.
I mean, that makes no sense,
It makes
man.
none. Like like your judgment and your perception and discernment is higher than the Lord's.
Right.
No, I can change this one right here. This one right here is not like that one. They're not like those. They're not. I can change them if I can read the scripture. No, damn it, no. The scriptures say what it says, and we cannot go against that. We can't lean to our own understanding on that. Go ahead,
And we try, but we lose.
That's right.
Guess what, man? And guess what? Brothers and sisters be at their job sometime, and you thought you could trust this little white helper, but guess what? She come. She got your number. She got your number, man. Guess what, man? And she ain't just got your number, but she got your social security. She got your date of birth, and guess what? She gonna pass it to the next person so they can know it too, man. They don't think that they ain't got our best interest. They never had our best interest, right? Their precept, First Maccabees 1:30, brothers and sisters had it wrote down right beside it too, right? Because it's saying the same thing, man. They words, man. That's what they talk. Because one thing about it, man, you just think about how Esau can do. Man, you see a Negro, yeah, man, this right here happened. Guess what? Esau can articulate his words and tear his butt up, man, because he can articulate words, this and that, this and that. Your brothers and sisters, like you say, newsflash. Why you say, hey, looking at, oh, this brother dyslexic. No, it ain't, you damn fool. Because guess what? We spoke Hebrew. We read backwards like that.
Right.
It's not dyslexia. This is how we literally read. We have to change the way we think, man. That's not a dyslexia. Hebrew is read. Guess what? English is read this way. Hebrew is read that way. That's why we see words backwards. That's why we see things backwards. Because guess what? We're looking at things in a native way of thinking.
And remember, one of Esau's plan was to do what? Turn everything the Most High God gave us upside down.
That's it.
From writing to reading to guess what? Even our speaking and so forth. Let's get that first Maccabees.
1:30.
Yeah.
You gotta get out just to say, 'cause as soon as you put your trust in these Edomites, man, you go into what? Confiding to them. Then you start telling them some deep stuff, knowing damn well you shouldn't have told them. Then next week you're in the office, you imagine talking about what happened with this? Damn, how you find that out? Karen over there just looking. Got him.
But he held my ass to the fire. Yes, they did. I bet you they did.
And that's what we tell brothers and sisters, what? Get in, get out. Get in your job, get out. And, you know, hey, Most High God sometimes put the spirit on you to, you know, to teach the truth to people when they come and ask about your friends, but you want to be wise about that. Go ahead,
Well, I said real quick, man, that's the reason why our nation is still, I'm gonna say, obsessed with Esau.
Yeah.
Because that one or two either so-called white boys that never did nothing to you, so you thought, or they was out here, me and Dylan grew up together, right? Yeah, we was cool, man. He never did nothing to me, yeah. Right? Or when the police came, he said, that's my black friend, man. He's never did anything like that or something, right? He stuck up for you. So you don't judge them as a nation that they are. You judge them off this one person.
That's right.
That's why we always say, yeah, you got 10 snakes, 5 of them poisonous. You're not going to stick your hand there and see the other 5 that's not poisonous. It's the nation that you have to judge, not the one person. The whole nation as a nation, man, we're the wickedest people on the planet. Right? Border wicked. Go ahead, guys.
Go to First Maccabees 1:30.
Book of First Maccabees, chapter 1, verse 30. And spake peaceable words unto them, but all was deceit. For when they had given him credence.
Read that again. That's the part.
And spake peaceable words unto them, but all was deceit. For when they had given him credence.
When you have fell into the plan, or fell into the trap, you say, you know what? This white boy is cool. This is my friend. Tanner is okay. Soon as you give him credits, what?
He fell suddenly upon the city.
That's when we fall, man. That is a heavy precept. As soon as you get them credits and you start taking in and believing their lies, that's why we fail. We believe the lie of Thanksgiving. And now we fail on this thing, right? We believe the lie of Christmas. We believe the lie of Easter. Now we fail and drafted, man. Go ahead, finish it out.
he fell suddenly upon the city and smote it very sore, and destroyed much people of Israel.
And that's how, like I was going into it, and that's how we got destroyed. Keep on. Guess what? Don't believe the Bible. Believe this. Guess what? To the point that we got these Negroes out here, man. Hey, man, read this 48 Laws of Power, and read this right here, man, and read this Mormon and this. Look here, man. Look, we can get ourselves caught up. We can get ourselves what Nita say, get caught up in the rapture of love. Get caught up, man.
And we have to go here because it's showing you periodically how they keep doing. That's the point. Because we know the Maccabees was in what time period? The Greek time period, man. 333 BC. So it happened. King David, what he was doing, remember, these are prophecies. King David was a prophet. It didn't happen during his time because he had all nations in submission. So he was warning us about these times, the latter times, on not to trust them. Even like in that movie, I don't know if brothers and sisters have seen it, this movie called Othello with Lawrence Fishburne. He was one of the last black Moors, really an Israelite that was in Europe. And he had this Edomite best friend. But he liked this Esau woman. He was all in good with them, but at the end they did what? They conspired to kill him and overtake them. He thought it was good, so when he's getting stabbed in the back by Esau, he's looking like, damn, yes. That's what happened because the Most High God had already warned us about them.
Let's go to Amos chapter 5, verse 21. It's one word in this Amos 5 and 21. I pointed this thing out, man. Look, and guess what? If you can't read this and get a good understanding, that with this one word in this scripture, man, to help us to get us to, because the Lord said it twice, man. Just one word.
The book of Amos, chapter 5, verse 21.
Mm-hmm.
I hate,
Mm-hmm.
I despise your feast days.
He said, I despise your feast days. Read.
And I will not smell in your solemn assemblies.
He didn't say, the Lord didn't say my feast days. He said your. That's the biggest thing that we got to feel to realize. He said, I hate your feast days. Thanksgiving, guess what? The Lord hated. We can try to act like, well, little Bobo coming, I ain't seen little Bobo about 15 years. But the Lord said he hated. There's no way around it, man. We can try to think we can prejudge. No. He said, I hate your. I despise your. Not his, man. So that's why this Amos 5 and 21, look, that mug is heavy, man. And we got to keep our minds, keep thinking like this, man, right?
But that shows the excuse we make. Well, I'm just doing it for the church. Oh, well, I'm just going to get some food. It don't matter. You still are celebrating and indulging in that day. That's right.
They say you're going to do it for the vine, huh?
That's what the scriptures say. What? Abstain from all appearance of evil. Even you just being there. Like we're saying, that's brainwashing and subjugated anyway. Esau is literally telling you what day to gather amongst your family. You can celebrate and gather with them any day.
Right.
Why should you constantly be confined to that one day to do those things? That's some things that brothers and sisters have to understand as well, man. Unlocking the shackles from our mind.
Subjugate, that's a good word. Ain't no thing. Go to Limitation 501 right quick.
Big words sometimes. Sound educated.
Yeah. I'm looking down like, did you go to Mason, bro? Did you go to Mason?
Israel University, KJV.
You like Eddie Murphy said, what school you go to? The university. The university.
The university. They're coming to America, man. With youngsters out there, man.
Yeah, he went to the university.
Oh, man.
Limitation 501 right quick.
Book of Lamentations, chapter 5, verse 1. Remember, O Lord, what has come upon us. Consider, behold, our reproach.
Read.
Our inheritance is turned to strangers.
Read.
Our houses to aliens.
Because this was a part of the curses that we went through, man. Now they call it the so-called northern tribe. Now they illegal aliens, right? They overtake the houses. Guess what, man? Give our people smallpox blankets. Destroying, guess what? Destroying tribes, man. Right, Reed?
We are orphans and fatherless.
Mm-hmm.
Our mothers are as widows.
Because guess what, man? And this is how a lot of our people live. Orphan, fatherless. There's a lot of people ain't got fathers in their homes, man. Right? There's a lot of people. Guess what, man? And that's why it's our brothers. That's why it's our duty, man, to be fathers to the children, man. That's why we think, man, it's not enough people getting on to the children about what they doing. They let children do anything, man. Because guess what? We got a lack of guidance in the home now. And without guidance in the home, guess what's gonna happen, man? We got a whole bunch of women raising the children. Now our children dying every day. Our children are dying from what? Men not being at home, and guess what? Women raising the children by themselves, man. Look at it. At an all-time rate, children are dying. Children are more homosexual than they ever been. Children are dying faster than they ever died. Look at how we can. Guess what? But they teaching our women to be some independent women and an independent thinker. You're gonna be an independent death giver, because that's what our people passing out. They passing out death to our children. But we read these scriptures and not, guess what, and not meditate on these scriptures, right? And this will get us in trouble a lot of times, man, because we literally read these things and this is what happened to us, right? And this right here, and this goes into what? The 2nd Ezra chapter 13. Let's go there right quick, man. We're going to come back. 2nd Ezra chapter 13, man. Y'all know where we going. They have became strangers. Because guess what? This land belongs to them. Belongs to the northern tribe. The Lord gave this land to the northern tribe. Right? 2nd Ezra chapter 13 verse 40, man. 2nd Ezra chapter 13 and verse 40. Hold on, before we read this, let's go. Let's you got the video up.
Because even like I was about to go into, let's say they know it's in historical movies and everything. I don't know, brothers and sisters have seen The Conquest of Paradise. You know, we bring this movie up all the time as a reference on how Christopher Columbus knew who was over here and how to get to this side of the earth. Not going by what we learned in history class. They was trying to sell, east to China, whatnot. No, they knew exactly where they wanted to go, man. Exactly. That's why he referenced the book of Ezra. They understood these things, man. That's ultimately why the Catholic Church took this out of the Bible, man, because it goes against what? The Bering Strait theory. You know, we have to take that out. You know, teach them that, guess what? They came from the ice bridge that connects Russia and Alaska. You know, no, the Most High God is telling you how the Native American Indians got over here. You got it.
Yeah, you know.
Who started up? Did you play it first? You didn't click it on because that one time you just got straight off. Try to play it first. Cast up at the top. Oh, you already did. Good.
Ain't let me cast.
They know,
You know what they doing. You know, ain't let me cast. I don't know. I think I was on the Wi-Fi. I ain't connected to Wi-Fi.
Yeah, I'm about to say that.
You connected to Wi-Fi?
I can't do it on this phone. I don't you can't do it.
To,
They got it because you have to have the code.
yeah, I got to be connected to the Wi-Fi.
That one, but you got on there last time without putting in the code.
No, but I was on Wi-Fi too. I think that's what it was.
Because you should be able to do it with the iPhone.
Let's while we trying to get this, man, let's read 2nd Ezra chapter 13 verse 40 right quick.
Yeah, I'll go right quick. Wait, Sean.
The book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 13, verse 40. Those are the 10 tribes which were carried away prisoners out of their own land in the time of Hosea the king, whom Salmanasseh, the king of Assyria, led away captive.
So this is going into the history of the 10 tribes, what we know today as the Native American Indians and the Mexican Americans. This is showing you how they was taken captive in the Assyrian captivity by Salmanasseh. King was what? Hosea. Hosea. Not Hosea of the book, but a northern tribe king. Read that again up from the top.
Those are the 10 tribes which were carried away prisoners out of their own land.
Because the Most High God put them in slavery because they did what? Was going into idolatry, going off, mixing with the other nations. Read on up.
In the time of Hosea, the king, who Salmanasseh, the king of Assyria, led away captive, and he carried them over the waters.
The waters that he carried them over were the Euphrates River. If brothers and sisters understand geography, you understand that you got Israel at the bottom, then you have the Euphrates River. They had to cross over the Euphrates River to get to the Assyrian kingdom. Go ahead.
And that precept, go to Isaiah chapter 20 and verse 6 right there. This should be, brothers should have these things locked in. Isaiah chapter 20 and verse 6 is the precept of 2nd Ezra chapter 13 and verse 40.
Yeah, I know. I'll send it to you.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 20, verse 6. An inhabitant of this I'll say in the land in that day, behold, such is our expectation, whether we flee for help to be delivered from the king of Assyria, and how shall we escape?
So this is what they thought process was in 2nd Ezra chapter 13 verse 40. This is going to the same precept. We're going into how did they escape from the kingdom of Assyria. This is going into the Assyrian captivity. And they was going into hardcore bondage. So when they was going into hardcore bondage, you'll see how the northern tribe was trying to get up out of that mud, man. And that's why they made a pledge to the Most High: you deliver us out of this thing, and we'll serve you over in this land. Let us go over, Lord, because this is too rough for us. So guess what? The Most High God allowed them to go, right?
And I'm gonna tell y'all that was a hard captivity. The Most High God literally had the Assyrians carry them with hooks in their lips and their jaws. It was like a bridle to turn every which way that they go, so they couldn't fight back, or you had your lip ripped off.
Right. Let's go to 2 Kings chapter 17 right quick. Second Kings chapter 17 and start at verse 1.
Book of 2 Kings, chapter 17, verse 1.
I'll read.
In the 12th year of Ahaz, king of Judah, began Hosea, the son of Eli, to reign in Samaria over Israel 9 years.
So now this is going into, like I said, man, this was the king of Israel at this time, right? Read.
And he did that which was evil in the sight of the Lord, but not as the kings of Israel that were before him.
Read.
Against him came up Salmanasseh, king of Assyria.
Read.
And Hosea became his servant and gave him presents.
Read.
The king of Assyria found conspiracy in Hosea, for he had sent messengers to Sokin of Egypt, and brought no presents to the king of Assyria,
Read.
as he had done year by year. Therefore the king of Assyria shut him up and bound him in prison.
So this is Gus going and getting ready to go into the Assyria. This is them, the northern tribe, going into the Assyrian captivity, man, right? All praise it, man. Right, read on.
Verse 5. Then the king of Assyria came up throughout all the land, and went up to Samaria, and besieged it in 3 years.
Read.
In the 9th year of Hosea, the king of Assyria took Samaria, and carried Israel away into Assyria.
Hold on, Samaria is what?
The northern kingdom.
Ephraim, the head of Ephraim.
Specifically, the capital of Ephraim.
The capital of Ephraim. So they took the northern tribe captive, right? Read on.
and carried away into Assyria, and placed them in Halah, in harbor by the river of Gozan,
by Gozan, read.
and in the city of the Medes.
In the city of the Medes. So they placed Israel into captivity. So now, guess what? When we go back to 2nd Ezra chapter 13, verse 40, it shows, just give you a better understanding of what was going on. Isaiah chapter 20 and verse 6, 2 Kings chapter 17, verse 1, really on down. I just kind of read, like, to give you the short version of it to give brothers and sisters just to give you a little read on it of what was happening during that time when they was about to get ready going into captivity, right?
That's right.
Play that video right quick, all right? Then we'll go back to
The
the
land of
2nd Ezra.
spices and gold. Abdullah,
Just a minute long.
Go.
why do you wish to sail west? To open a new route to Asia. Asia is the richest kingdom, the land of spices and gold.
You heard that?
At the moment, there are only two ways of reaching it. By sea, sailing around the African continent, the journey takes a year,
Right quick.
or by land.
He said the way they can get around it, they got to be sailing around the African continent. Think about what we reading in 2nd Ezra chapter 13 and verse 40, right? Go ahead.
But the troops have
Even
closed.
like, and that's what you, like we say, you want to filter things through the scriptures. They're deceptive in that. You see how he's saying Asia. No. They knew they wanted to come to this side. They weren't going to no damn Asia. So you have to be able to discern, like we say, the lies that they are telling our people with the Bible. They wanted to come to America. They wasn't trying to go to no damn Asia, man.
This route to all Christians. There is a third way. By sailing west across the ocean sea.
Look, and then I know. Listen to their wordplay. All of this, they wanted to go where all of the Christians. Did y'all catch that? Look at their wordplay, right?
The distance is unknown. It's said to be infinite.
What's it?
Superstition. I believe the Indies are no more than 750 leagues west of the Canary Islands. Did you be so certain? Calculations of Thankskilling, Maradoti, Esdras. Esdras is a Jew. So what's what?
Y'all see that?
Yeah.
You see how they some long time. Look.
Yes.
2 minutes, and already you're a dead man.
Because why do you say that? Because
You are burning.
it was considered blasphemy. Anything going against the Spaniards, they could have been put to death for those things because they was trying to keep all that knowledge to themselves. When people say knowledge is power, they not lying. They was literally burned at the stake, even going into the Inquisition times. There was some very troublous times during that time. Remember, at the Dark Ages, they was losing all their supplies, they was losing all their resources, so they had to try to find another place, which was the Americas, of infinite lands and infinite resources that they know that they could come over here and exploit from the Northern Kingdom.
And you got to think about it. It's not just Southern America. It was all. Look how long this.
Exactly.
This is the whole thing.
Boy, get the spirit up.
It's not just Southern America. It was Southern America, Northern America, and Canada. This is a big land.
And did you hear what he said? The Indies, West Indies, for what we know, the Haitians, the Jamaicans today. So all those lands, Puerto Rico, West Indies, Hispaniola, going into South America, like I said, Guatemala, all the way up to North America, all the way up to Canada. All that land in between there, man. Esau, they wanted this land, man.
That's what they said, an infinite amount of land. Because they knew, they like, dang, we take over all this, but we got something, right?
People for less. The men you're about to confront have no emotion.
Like I say, and they told him, they said, the man you about to confront ain't got no emotion. It means that they're not gonna abide by their laws. And we not just gonna give in. Because when they came over, they never shook hands. They came over here to fight and to destroy. Because like you say, they always call us, they always had a problem with us because guess what? Through all the time periods, they said, no, they not, these people got their own laws. They not gonna abide by our laws.
Let me
Because
get
we always had God, law, statutes, and commandments. Go ahead.
Let me get a precept real quick. Let's go to the book of Micah, chapter 2, verse 2. Now, like we said, when we using Micah, it's on two thoughts. Yes, it's going into Israelites taking land from other Israelites. That's why the Most High God had the Edomites take our land. Because we were doing it to one another, man. We were oppressing one another, so the Most High God used that against us, man. These are the judgments for breaking this. When you get there, read that. Micah chapter 2, verse 2.
Book of Micah, chapter 2, verse 2.
Start at verse 1.
Verse 1. Woe to them that devise iniquity.
That devise iniquity. Even with this council right here between Christopher killing Columbus and this Jesuit priest, they was devising iniquity. Meaning what? Thinking of a plan to go over to the Americas to take that land from them. Read on.
And work evil upon their bed.
Read on, Doc.
When the morning is light, they practice it.
So when they practice or put into action the things that they done dwelt about that night.
Right.
Asking their father. Like we said, we praying to the Most High God. They praying to their daddy, the devil. Telling them to give them stuff. And then they wake up and do that thing in the morning. Read on.
Because it is in the power of their hand.
Because they had the military might to do that thing, man. Read on.
And they covet fields.
And they do what?
And they covet fields.
So much so that they covered this whole Western Hemisphere. So much so, shoot, they covered the damn moon. Hell.
Right.
Read on up.
And take them by violence.
And they took this thing by violence. Read on.
In houses. And take them away.
Uh-huh.
So they oppress a man.
Read on up.
In his house.
Read on.
Even a man and his heritage.
So there's not enough for them to take the land. They have to oppress you and your heritage. No, don't celebrate Feast of Dedication. Celebrate Christmas. Don't celebrate Feast of Dedication. Celebrate Thanksgiving. Go ahead, Doc.
Big con on that, man. Let's go back to 2nd Ezra chapter 13. So like when brothers, sisters, when we read, the context is always good to have context to get a better understanding of what things are going into, because a lot of times we can read it and be blinded, right? Get the help, let's read it. Start at 40.
The book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 13, verse 40. Those are the 10 tribes which were carried away prisoners out of their own land in the time of Hosea, the king, whom Salmanassar, the king of Assyria, led away captive.
We just read that, right? 2 Kings chapter 17, right? Read.
And he carried them over the waters, and so came they into another land.
Read on.
But they took this counsel amongst themselves, that they would leave the multitude of the heathen and go forth into a further country where never mankind dwelt, that they might there keep their statutes, which they never kept in their own land.
So guess what, man? They promised the Lord they gonna come over here and keep the commandment. That's what they promised to the Most High, right? They came over here and didn't do none of it, right? Read on.
And they entered into Euphrates by the narrow passages of the river. For the Most High then showed them signs for them, and held still the flood till they were passed over.
Because they had flood seasons in it, and guess what? In that part of the land, they have flood seasons every year. The Most High God held still the floods as they was traveling through those lands, man. That's why he said that they was gonna come around the east coast of Africa. If you knew the map on how they came, guess what? They came around the east coast of Africa, all the way to the bottom, around to the west side over here to the Americas. That's why they were dropping off in the West Indies, the South Americas, and in the Northern America, up into Canada, man. Read on.
For through that country there was a great way to go, namely of a year and a half.
And they said, namely of a year and a half, read.
In the same region, it's called Arsarit.
Arsarit. What does Arsarit mean? America, which means, guess what? And it means something else too.
Unknown land.
Another country. Goes into another country. Also, watch this. Deuteronomy chapter 29. Go there right quick. Deuteronomy chapter 29. This is a prophecy, man. You know, every prophet touch on these things. Deuteronomy 29 and verse.
Even the
28.
map up here, it's like that, showing you how they went into the Euphrates, going into what they would call today the Persian Gulf, sailing around what they would call the Indian Sea around the bottom tip of Africa. Go ahead.
Deuteronomy chapter 29 and verse 28.
Book of Deuteronomy, chapter 29, verse 28. The secret things belonging to the Lord our God.
29, 28.
Oh, 29.
I usually one verse down, usually 29.
Oh, 29. My bad. The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 29, verse 28.
Uh-huh.
And the Lord rooted them out of their land in anger
Uh-huh. It's going into the same thing. Read.
and in wrath and in great indignation,
Uh-huh.
and cast them into another land,
Uh-huh.
as it is this day.
As it is this day. And this is what the Lord said. You know what? Y'all want to go? Go on here, go then. The northern tribe, he knew what the northern tribe was gonna go over there and do. He said, "Go on here, go, man." But he had a plan about this land, right? You got to think about how God think. He had a plan for this land, right? Let's go to Jeremiah chapter 3 and verse 18. This was the plan. That's why he cast them into another land, which is called Arsaby, which is called America, and this is why these properties why they line up, right? All the scriptures, guess what? Scriptures gotta always line up. Jeremiah chapter 3 and verse 18. This is how you bring scriptures together, right? Read that out when you get there.
Book of Jeremiah, chapter 3, verse 18.
Uh-huh.
In those days, the house of Judah shall walk with the house of Israel.
So guess what? Israel came over here to America first. Then guess what? Judah came next. Right? The northern tribe went. Now the southern tribe over here, right? Read.
And they shall come together out of the land of the north.
So now, guess what? That was the whole plan that the Lord's going to bring us out of the land of the north, man. Right? Read.
To the land that I have given thee for an inheritance unto your fathers.
And we going back to Israel, man. So no matter how people love America and all this, we going back to our homeland, man. If y'all don't want to go there, guess what? Stay over here at the Lake of Fire.
And even how the Most High God worded that in the land of the North. What is this country known as? North America. You know, brothers are simple brothers say, brother, well, it doesn't say North America. Nigga, it ain't gonna say that. Because if it do, they would have burned the Bible.
Right,
Like you have to literally be thinking that's for simple Negroes and brothers out there that want to be deep. No, I don't believe the Bible because it's not literally saying North America. Well, it's a secret thing that the Most High God is revealing unto us. You know, it's written in coded messages. And like we said, it's a spiritual thing you wouldn't understand.
So like even when I touching on, go back to Deuteronomy chapter 29, verse 28. Start me verse 29. And it's literally saying, like what Ak is saying, it is a secret thing. Because guess what? Now the prophecy, now you can see how prophecy unfolded. Right? Read that.
Book of Deuteronomy, chapter 29, verse 29.
Mm-hmm.
The secret things belong to the Lord our God.
Because just like we said, these are the prophecies. Even Moses himself, Moses knew what was to come. And all these things in the Bible has to be unlocked. Guess what, man? It's going to be through the Most High. He's going to unlock these things, right? Read.
But those things which are revealed belong unto us
Uh-huh.
and to our children
Uh-huh.
forever.
For how long?
Forever.
Uh-huh. Read.
That we may do all the words of this law.
So guess what? This is the reason why the Most High God unlocking the Bible, right? Giving us a better understanding of different things. So that's why Osiric it was called America, but it was called another land.
That's right.
So guess what? And this the another land that the Lord brought us over here, and guess what happened? He brought the northern and the southern tribe together, and he gonna bring us back to the crib, man.
It's another precept. Let's go to Deuteronomy 33 and 17. Because like all praise to the Most High. I couldn't remember the precepts when Brother Azra, when we was touching on this in Camp 101. So like, is there other precepts for Osiric? Not literally saying Osiric, but giving you another land. So those are the precepts that I brought out. All praise, because he made me remember another precept that I know we rarely go over. Deuteronomy chapter 33 and we're just going to get straight to the point, verse 17. This is also a blessing that he gave Manasseh and Ephraim. Read this out.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 33, verse 17. His glory is like the firstling of his bullock, and his horns are like the horns of unicorn.
Going into his strength. A unicorn is not talking about the mythical creature. Unicorn is making reference to what? A rhino, that's right. Read on.
With them he shall push the people together to the ends of the earth.
Read that part again. I want the brothers and sisters to catch that. Read that again.
With them he shall push the people together to the ends of the earth.
With them going into Joseph. Joseph is mainly going into what? Ephraim and Manasseh. With them he shall push the people to the ends of the earth. Going into what? 2nd Ezra 13 and 40, where what? Never mankind dwelt.
That's right.
Read on up.
To the ends of the earth. And they are the 10,000 of Ephraim.
Uh-huh.
And they are the thousands of Manasseh.
So we seeing who pushed them to the other ends of the earth, going into Ephraim, the head tribe, and Manasseh. Pushed the people to what? To this side. That counsel that they was taking. Go ahead, Al.
Big con on that, man. Let's go back. 2nd Ezra chapter 13.
Shoot, read verse 18. So like,
You could have went on there.
they could have.
Issachar.
Yeah, Gad. Yep, sorry.
Signs, show the signs.
Verse 46.
Book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 13, verse 46. Then dwelt they there until the latter time.
Read.
And now, when they shall begin to come.
So guess what, man? He said, and then dwelt they until the latter times. That's why we over here in America together,
That's right.
man. So we over here in the latter time. Guess what, man? And we waking up, man, over here, man. All praise to the Most High for giving us that understanding to wake up. Because we know also, we always got to touch on multiple fronts, man. Because we know what? Their brothers and sisters, guess what? We know mama got this Thanksgiving food over here. We know these jobs got this Thanksgiving food.
Right.
Guess what, man? Should we give in to that?
No.
We shouldn't give in to that. But guess what, man? We think about ourselves. Guess what? Mama like, well, baby, you just ain't gonna eat you ain't gonna eat none of that pumpkin pie. You ain't finna eat none. I know you like pumpkin pie, baby.
So what saying? I specifically made it just for you.
For you. Right?
The thing was tough that first year coming to the truth, boy.
They say that's that bittersweet, boy.
Gird up your loins, boy.
Gird up your skirt, son.
Made you too sweet potato pie. I'm out of here, man.
Yeah, man. Let's go to 1 Corinthians, man, chapter 8, man. Because this hey, you know how mama do it? Mama put that little, granny put that nice voice on. Man, you don't give a damn how good that voice sounds. Sound like an angel up in this movie.
You just tell her, Granny, make it for me in 2 more weeks.
Right.
That mind of his own, huh?
Dang.
He saw
Take this off my wrist, man.
I'm ready, boy.
Read that. 1 Corinthians chapter 8, verse 8.
The book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 8, verse 8.
Read.
But meat commanded us not to God.
Read.
For neither if we eat, are we the better. Neither if we eat not, are we the worse.
So, guess what? Meat didn't command us to God. Really, we eat it. Guess what, man? It's cool. And if we don't eat it, it's still all right. But this next point is gonna be heavy because guess what? Sometimes people, mama might be a sickly person, or you might have sons and daughters that might be, they might have to have your help, and you might have to go through these people's house on their holidays. But when you going over to these people's house, or to your relatives, or your family, or maybe your friend's house, if you just so happen to go, we telling you, hey, don't go. If you just so happen to go, guess what? This is what the mindset you're supposed to have, right? Read this.
But take heed, lest by any means this liberty of yours become a stumbling block to them that are weak.
So guess what? You telling your family about the truth all year long. You telling them about the truth, and you try to give them the truth. But then you go over there, baby. I made this apple pie for you. I made this pumpkin pie for you. So guess what? Are you gonna go over there? You gonna go over here and eat? You gonna go over here and do this? But guess what? Now you teaching the people that you was teaching the truth to. You teaching them a stumbling block. Right? You don't want to give them that stumbling block, right? Because if you give them that stumbling block, that's what's going to happen. Well, shoot, you still eating, shoot. I come over there. I ain't celebrating it either. We both eating the same thing. I mean, I ain't celebrating, you ain't celebrating either. We just going to be chilling. Right? You don't want to put that stumbling block on yourself, right?
That's right.
Right? We don't.
For if any man see thee which has knowledge, sit at meat in the idol's temple.
So guess what? Hey, you're breaking it down plain. So if any man see you, right? And you up in this idol temple, that means you are on one of these hella damn days, man. Right? Read.
Shall not the conscience of him which is weak
Uh-huh.
be emboldened to eat those things which are offered to idols?
So guess saying the same thing we just got finished breaking down, man. Guess what? They see you eating it, guess what? They can eat it too.
That's right.
That's why we don't, no, man, I ain't finna do all that, man. I don't want no turkey, I don't want nothing. I got all, guess what? Brothers make all kind of turkey sandwiches on Sabbath day, man. You can eat turkey on the Sabbath day, man.
That's right.
You ain't got to eat it on the, get what? Eat you some turkey on the Sabbath day. Eat turkey or whatever. You ain't got to eat it on no Thanksgiving, man. Right? Don't put the stumbling block between you and your brothers and your sisters, your mama, your children, no nothing. You don't put those stumbling blocks on our people like this, man.
And it touches on a plethora of things. I know even all these traditions, a lot of traditions we think may be seeming right. I know even with Donovan, I know Ock told me, even with birthday showers, that is not our custom. But like how we tell brothers and sisters,
Baby
yeah,
shower.
Ain't no been one.
what I say? Go both of them, Dad.
Yeah, right.
We gonna
Put
combine
them together. That's right.
a baby shower. Because I know even I, and like I say, I know I,
for sure.
yeah, exactly. I know I knew in the truth. So these are things, like we say, it may seem right, and that's what the congregation is for, and other people, like we say, you gather those things together to give unto them, because it also goes into a form of idolatry. And I know a lot of times brothers and sisters may not know these things. Like we said, that custom was started. Do anybody know where it started from? It started in the 1950s. You know, so it's a fairly new tradition. Like we say, the thing was, we just help brothers and sisters put those things together. But like the scripture say, give me 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 22. Because like we said, we understand these things. I know we had touched on it once before when Sister Genesis asked. Because I know this is something we expect a sister that had been here for a while to know. Sister Genesis had asked even with Brother Asher's wife when she had Hezekiah. You know, we put things together to give to them. But as far as like officially having it, that was never our custom. Remember, abstain from all appearances of evil. You get to read this.
I hold y'all precept we're going back to.
The book of 1 Thessalonians, chapter 5, verse 22. Abstain from all appearance of evil.
So even like what Captain Jerubal is going into, that's what these things are for. For us to abstain from these things, even going into the book of Leviticus where it's showing you God's high holy days, we don't want to go outside of those things. And I know a lot of times it can be hard because we so used to doing it. Nigga, well, I'm doing it anyway. Well, you gonna die anyway. Like, we can't play the games. Can't sugarcoat it. Like, that's not our custom. It's other ways, like we say, to do that, put together, sisters that are having children with their husbands. Hey, brothers, congregation, put those things together, get everything that they need. That's the way that we did it. Like we said, because you don't read about baby showers in the Bible. We want to make sure that we holding fast to these things, just like we going in on Thanksgiving. In any little ways that brothers and sisters can be slick and trying to celebrate it.
Because I know
all corners.
And just like I said, because we know how sometimes people look in there at Christ and his birth. Right? You ain't Christ. Because guess what? But it's also plenty of precepts out saying when you going to go see the king, what you supposed to do. Don't come empty handed.
Right.
So you can't come and you ain't the king.
Right.
Right? You got something else on?
Go ahead.
Okay. Go back to 1 Corinthians.
Yeah. Go ahead. Nah, go ahead. I'm gonna get it. Go ahead.
1 Corinthians chapter 8. And we read verse 10, verse 11.
The book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 8, verse 11.
Do y'all got work you might got work tomorrow?
Nope.
Okay. I wish I did too. Read on.
The book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 8, verse 11. And through thy knowledge shall the weak brother perish, for whom Christ died.
So guess what, man? So now you making Christ's death to a non-effect, man. When we celebrate and we partake in those things, right? We making brothers and sisters be weak by us going and just even eating the food, man, during those times. You see what I'm saying? So brothers and sisters, hey, pay attention, man, right? Read.
But when ye sin, so against the brethren.
So guess what? When you doing that, you are committing sin. Right? This is a sin. Right? Read.
and wound their weak conscience.
And you wound a weak conscience, read.
You sin against Christ.
You sin against Christ, man. So this is why we got to make sure that when brothers and sisters, we got to be sound in the faith, man, right? Don't give in because mama talking about, hey, baby, I made this just for you. Baby, granny, baby, this for you. Right? Read.
Wherefore, if meat make my brother to offend.
Guess what, man? If me getting this plate make my brother to offend, right? Read.
I will eat no flesh.
We ain't gonna eat none of it, man. Read.
While the world standeth.
Uh-huh.
Lest I make my brother to offend.
That's right. This is why we not gonna do it. Right? Even if you just so happen, hey, mama might need some help. Go over there, help your mama. Go on, leave. Guess what? Even if your children might need some help, go help them. Go on, leave. Right? Let's go to Sirach 27.
Even like how Aka said, how does it wound that weak conscience? When you taking some of that I would say some damn apple pie. What is the pie they eat? Sweet potato pie. I'm saying it because I hate sweet potato pie.
I ain't that either.
I never ate that.
Like
Turkey was too damn
I
dry.
like to smell it.
I just never ate that. I hate it. Goddamn. What is the stuff that go into stuffing? What is the other name for it? Dressing. I just never ate that stuff.
I like the deep fried turkey. I like the deep fried.
Whatever I said, that's Esau stuff right there.
What else is coming?
But how you wound when you take a plate and it might be your cousin seeing you that might just be into the truth. They looking at you like, oh shoot, he been in the truth, he eating it, so I guess there's nothing wrong with it. You can wound them by doing those things. Like, okay, well, it's all right. You know, I can be in the truth, keep the commandments, and still eat turkey and dressing.
They don't know when the bus. You gonna be over
Exactly.
You gonna be babysitting, barbecue, and selling dope over here. And you don't know when the bus. Like baby D. Like you say, man, we don't want to hurt our people though, for real, man.
That's right.
By doing those things, man. If you know we ain't pertaining to it, let's just not do it, man. Right?
Right.
Let's go to Sirach chapter 27 and verse 12 right quick. Read that out.
The book of Sirach, chapter 27, verse 12. If thou be among the indiscreet, observe the time.
The Bible tells us to observe the times. So when you going over there, hey, even if you ain't got a watch on your wrist, whoo, it's about skin 30, man. I got to get up out of here. Gotta get up out of here, man. Skin 30, man. It's getting late out here, man. Like, but you know, for 10 minutes, but it's still skin 30.
For real.
Quarter past skin. I gotta get up out of here, man. Right? Read.
But be continually among men of understanding.
Be around the people that's in the truth, man. This is what the Bible commands us to do because this is how we build our strength up, right? Read on.
The discourse of fools is irksome.
Because guess what? While you're around these people, they will irk your nerves. You be like, man, this people is vexing my spirit in this mug. Right? It makes it irksome to you because you know the truth. But guess what? You want mama, you want daddy, you want brothers and sisters. You want them to understand, but they just not gonna understand this, man. And it irks them. Guess what? The conversation they had, yeah, boy, you know our brothers had them conversations, boy. They had this sister over there, they sisters over there doing that and everything, man. And sisters over there trying to do some strange for a piece of change. You know how the conversation goes. That's how conversation go, man. Hey. I've been around people like that and I had conversations like that, man. It just be what it be, man.
That's right.
Because guess what? That's a worldly type of deal. Because the world is built on, guess what? Drugs and sex. Our lifestyle is built on drugs and sex and go get that bag. So that's what our conversation around. Drugs and sex and go get the bag. Right? Read the rest of that out,
And their sport is in the wantonness of sin.
Because guess what, man? After going in the sport and the wantonness of sin, this right here is going into the whole conversation and the things that they doing. It's going into the wantonness of sin, man. No matter what they over there doing, it's got sin all around it, man. Right? They entertainment, their activities is going into straight sin, man. Right? Go ahead, Al.
Should read 14.
Verse 14. The talk of him that sweareth much, make it the hair stand upright.
Because even when you're around these people, they talking about pork this or I can't wait to eat some of them chitlins. right? This is the talk of they swearing right here that piss you off, man. You don't want to hear about that. You don't want to hear about the dressing, the dry dressing, like I said, with the cranberry sauce, because we know what that really is going into, right?
That's right.
So these things irk you, man. It said the talk of him that swears much maketh the hair stand upright. So going into this swear is going into everything that they're doing. What? That's opposite of the Bible. Man. That's all they talking about. You go over there, they talking about. I say get in the bag, sex, money, drugs.
That's right.
Cars. Last time they you want to go outside and eat the blunt? That's irksome to you. These things that swear to you, it drives you crazy. So you do got to be discreet at that time.
That's right.
Because it's gonna pull you away. Your spirit gonna be flexed, man. It's gonna vex you. Let's go to Proverbs 6 right quick. Because in 1 Corinthians, Ak was making a great point on it. You cannot indulge in these things, even if you want to. Oh, I'm just getting a plate, right to go. One of your cousins see the plate to go, and you're Israelite, and you told your cousin all day long, this ain't what you do. He's seeing you get a plate. What he gonna do? He gonna indulge in it. Now he gonna indulge in it. He gonna scoff too, maybe, but he gonna indulge in it. But read this right quick, because I'm gonna pull something out of this different. But we'll read this. 6 and 27, Shalak.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 6, verse 27.
Mm-hmm.
Can a man take fire in his bosom, and his clothes not be burnt?
So if you take fire in your chest, your clothes gonna be burned, right? You gonna get some fire on your clothes, right? Read on.
Can one go upon hot coals, and his feet not be burnt?
If you step on hot coals, your feet are gonna burn, right? So if you are indulging in any parts of these holidays by just eating, oh, I'm just doing it for the children. Oh, well, grandma, big mama make me that pie, and I'm gonna come get it the next day after. You still indulging that thing, because no matter what, that fire is still gonna burn you. That fire gonna burn your shirt, right? Just like that pie, it's gonna take away from the Most High God's. And what he said, I hate, I despise your feast day. And then, like I said, going into that 1 Corinthians 8 and 8, now you are giving a way for your brother and your sister to stumble, man. Because now they see these things. And that's putting a stumbling block, you know, Leviticus 19 and 14.
Or that pie literally gonna burn you like Martin on life.
That's right. Your toes gonna be in the fire.
Eat my only pie.
For real, man.
But the scripture, it's just really going into Thanksgiving, killing, all these holidays. They will hinder your lifestyle.
That's right.
And then they will also hinder somebody else too. Right?
Right.
So yes, fire will burn your shirt. Yes, coals will burn your feet. Yes, indulge it in any part of these traditional days that the world brings us up on. They will hinder your neighbor.
Going to some more of that, man. I like that. Let's go to Galatians right quick, chapter 2. This is what Brother Paul was on there too. Brother Paul was telling Peter them, man, like, hold on, man, Peter.
Oh yeah.
Galatians chapter 2, start verse 10. But yeah, what do you say? Okay. You looking at Paul pull up to the scene. He like, hey, Peter, man, what y'all doing over here, man? Right? Read the Galatians chapter 2 and verse 10.
The book of Galatians, chapter 2, verse 10. Only they would that we should remember the poor, the same which I also was forward to do.
Because guess what? This is a commandment for us to remember the poor, right? Poor in spirit and the poor physically poor, right? Read.
But when Peter was come to Antioch,
Uh-huh.
I withstood him to the face,
Uh-huh.
because he was to be blamed.
So guess what? He guess what? He said, man, you know, I told it to his face, man. Paul said, man, I told him to his face, man, because he was in sin. Right? Read.
For before that certain came from James,
Mm-hmm.
he did eat with the Gentiles.
He did eat with he said this came from James. He did eat with the Gentiles, right? Read.
But when they were come, he withdrew and separated himself.
And but guess what? But when he came, but when they seen Paul, they separated themselves, right? Read.
Fearing them which were of the circumcision.
Fearing the ones that knew the law. You know what I'm saying? Hey, everybody going live, they over there ducking. They over there ducking. Got them friends in swine, you over there ducking. Right? Read.
And the other Jews disassembled likewise with him,
Mm-hmm.
and so much that Barnabas also was carried away with their dissimulation. Dissimulation.
So get what? Even for real, even Barnabas was pulled away in that thing, man. indulging in stuff that they ain't had no business to indulge in, man, right? They got pulled away too, right? Read.
But when I saw that they walk not uprightly,
But he said, yeah, well, when I saw when they ain't walk uprightly, read.
according to the truth,
According to what?
according to the truth
According to the truth, right? Read.
of the gospel,
Mm-hmm.
I said unto Peter before them all,
Uh-huh.
if thou, being a Jew, liveth after the manner of the Gentiles,
Because guess what? The Lord don't want us to live like the man of the Gentiles, right? Read.
and not as do the Jews,
Uh-huh.
why compellest thou the Gentiles to live as do the Jews?
Guess what? So now you're in there telling these people to do it, but you're not living like that,
Right.
man. Right? That sound like a Pharisee to me.
That's exactly what it is.
Right? That's why, hey, that's why Peter had to withstand what? Tell him to his face, like in front of everybody, like, hey, Peter, you the head apostle. You mean to tell me you over here doing this? Right? Watch this. Go to Sirach 33 and 19, man. Say, you let these people do this? Come on. They like, come on, man.
That's that open rebuke.
For real.
You know what I'm telling you. See, I told him to his face.
So he be rude to speak, but not in knowledge, ain't. I want no joke. Sirach chapter 33, verse 19.
The book of Sirach, chapter 33, verse 19. Give not thy son
Uh-huh.
and wife, thy brother
Uh-huh, read.
and friend, power over thee,
Uh-huh.
while thou livest,
While thou livest, read.
and give not thy goods to another,
Uh-huh.
lest it repent thee, and thou entreat for the same again.
So guess what? It said don't give your wife, brother, friends power over thee. Power over thee to do what? To sin. Don't let nobody have power over you to sin, man. As long as we live, man. This is how our mindset got to start being, and we got to think like this in this truth, man. We know the hell of days is here. Guess what, man? And the hell of days, faster they come, faster they leave. Guess what? They two hell of days. Guess what happened, man? The Most High God make them things go bad quick as hell. Guess what? They celebrate Christmas and they be like, dang, man, Christmas done came and left. Yeah, it did. All praise it.
But the Feast of Dedication is what? Whole 8 days.
For real. Yeah, take that, Esau. Or you say Feast of Dedication, 8 days. Tabernacle, 8 days. Passover. Come on, man. Loving it, man. Loving how, guess what, they feast day, they hella days go by quick, man. And we thankful for that, man. Guess what? Brothers and sisters got to stay in the spirit. Guess what? The Most High God used Kanye and Kyrie to give us a bigger platform.
That's right.
Because guess what? Now we can talk to the people. Guess what? When brothers out there on the street teaching, now we can talk to the people. Guess what? Hey, you see what this stuff Kyrie and Kanye going through?
Right.
Well, let me explain to you what they talking about.
Right. That's right.
You understand it? It gives a brother and sister a better understanding how to talk to people. It gave us, the Lord just throwing us an alley hoop. We just got to dunk that mug, man, right?
All right.
Some people don't dunk. Hey, you might be the one, you might want to do a layup king or something. You know what I'm saying? But he giving us an alley hoop. We use what the Lord give us and use the tools that he give us to, guess what? Be a light to the people and to give understanding to the people, right?
You know, I read it so I can go over to 34 and 4. It's always a good precept for a lot of different occasions, especially for these feast days.
The book of Sirach, chapter 34.
Read one.
Sirach, chapter 34, verse 1. The hopes of a man, void of understanding, are vain and false.
So brothers that don't have no idea what Thanksgiving is really going into or any of these these holidays that they give us, it says understanding is void, man, right? It's false as well. It's like they always say, we doing it for the family. It's family time. No, that's a false, void understanding of what you think this is. Read out.
And dreams lift up fools.
And it lift them up to thinking that they doing right. You can't tell me I ain't gonna go see Big Mama, man. You know what I'm saying? His leg finna get cut over, whatever the case may be. It's lifting up dreams of fools, man. We jump down to 4.
Verse 4. Of an unclean thing.
Of what? Edomite, the so-called white vagabond, dirty, wicked. They just
Dirty dog.
read that again.
Of an unclean
Of
thing.
them stinking Africans, man. Shots fired tonight too. And you can't, if you're a stinking African, ain't no way you're clean. You're still a stinking African, right? That's right. Read that again.
Of an unclean thing.
Thankskilling. Thanksgiving of an unclean thing. Read.
What can be cleansed?
It can nothing be cleansed from an unclean thing.
That's
You cannot try to deem Thanksgiving to be for family when it wasn't for that.
That's right, man.
You cannot deem that's family time when we know and we see what they really did to our Native American brothers and sisters. You can't deem that of an unclean thing. You cannot make it clean. Most I made it dirty. It's dirty, right? Edomites, they dirty, like we said. You got your little white friend Tanner. You can't make him clean. Still dirty, man.
Right.
But of an unclean thing, these holidays they give us, you cannot try to twist it or manipulate somebody to think and making it think that, oh, we just do it for the church.
That's right.
Oh, we just do it for the family. It cannot be cleansed, man. Right? That's all I got. Man.
Big con on that, man. Let's go to Philippians chapter 2, verse 14. So get ready to get up out of here, man. Philippians chapter 2 and verse 14.
The book of Philippians, chapter 2, verse 14. Do all things without murmuring and disputing.
So guess what, man? Just because you can't keep these holidays with your family, guess what? Okay. Don't sit up and be huffing and puffing neither, man. Because we doing this truth for the Most High God, man.
Right.
Don't be sitting up there huffing and puffing because you got to know. Dang, yeah, hey. You get your candle blew out, man.
Captain talking about we can't now.
Yeah.
Most I got talking about.
Right. Get your candle on. Hey, don't do all these things without murmuring and complaining about it, man. That's what the Lord say, man. Hey, you got a problem with it? Take it up with the king, man. Hey, see if you step in the ring with him right quick, man. He zip that lip up right quick, man, for you.
Like physically though. Like put some zippers on your lips. Sew the mugs, zip the mug short, man. Shut.
That's right, man. Watch this verse 15.
Verse 15. That ye may be blameless and harmless, the sons of God, without rebuke.
Without rebuke. That's why we do it. We ain't complaining. We happy, man. Look, we having a good time. The Lord gave us a feast day yesterday.
Right.
Man, I'm talking about we good, man. Guess what, man? Man, I know y'all missing the family. We good over here.
That's right.
Man, we real good, man. I got a whole bunch of family, man. Little nieces, nephews, man, around here, man. Brothers, sisters, you know. We good over here, right? Read.
In the midst of a crooked and perverse nation.
Because we doing this is showing how we supposed to be in the midst of a crooked nation, man. Read.
Among whom ye shine as lights in the world.
Because we got to shine as lights in the world, man. So we ain't got to complain. Man, we good over here, man. Right? Read.
Holding forth the word of life, that I may rejoice in the day of Christ, that I have not run in vain.
Because guess what? We ain't trying to do this, man, and run in vain. We ain't gonna give in to none of this stuff. We not running in vain, man. Read.
Neither labored in vain.
And we ain't laboring in vain, man. This is why we in the truth for, man. All praise to the Most High, man. Thank you, brothers and sisters, for tuning in. Like and share the video. Help us push this truth around the four corners of the earth. We say keep God's law, statutes, and commandments. Leviticus chapter 23. Like we say, Leviticus chapter 23, verse 1. Brothers and sisters, don't be celebrating them holidays, man. Come up out of her, man. We can't do it, man. Guess what, man? If we say we love the Lord, we gotta act like we love the Lord, man.
Hey, what was the name of that movie again? It's our show.
Conquest of Paradise.
Conquest of Paradise.
1492.
Does someone want to comment? Nothing good.
A lot of people was asking what the name of that movie was.
Oh, Conquest of Paradise.
Conquest of Paradise, man.
It's a good movie too, brothers and sisters.
Hey, man, hey, you know, sisters in there, man, they getting these shirts together, man. Hey, all praise them. You know, hey. Also, what we got? Feast of Dedication coming up. Man, we got another new moon coming up. We got many more Sabbaths coming up. Guess what, man? We ain't dismayed in none of this, man. Brothers and sisters, just keep the commandments, man. That's all the Lord says. It's not grievous. Read verse 23, 1 and 2.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 23, verse 1. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel.
This is a commandment concerning the children of Israel, man. Read.
And say unto them concerning the feast of the Lord,
Read.
which ye shall proclaim to be holy convocations. Even these are my feasts.
And it goes throughout the Bible to show what our feasts are. Right? And with that, I'm going to say shalom.
No.
Any